welcome to FTB Sports, the Liverpool versus Leeds preview game, which is tomorrow. We were having Howard Gayle on today. He has been on, but unfortunately there's been awful technical issues. The guys can tell you we were talking okay before we went live, and then we've been having loads of problems, hence why we're so late. But hopefully Howard will still come on and join us at some stage. He's still at trying to sort the technical issue out. So fingers crossed, guys, we've got him on. But like I said, greetings from sunny Liverpool. I'm your host, Queen Pato, and we also have host King Artie. Hello, Artie.
Good evening, good evening.
And we also have our host, King Stoney. Good evening, Stoney.
Good evening, all. Good evening.
And our final host is King Cop Artist. Hello, King Cop Artist.
Good evening, everybody.
So, as we said, it's been not the best of weeks with what's happened, but we have to move onwards and upwards. We've still got another six is it games? 7?
Yeah. 6, I think.
6.
Yeah.
After tomorrow, I think, isn't it? And then hopefully we're going to still get to the top 4. Fortunately for us, a few teams did drop points at the weekend. Starting Friday with Everton, Tottenham. Then we've had West Ham, Arsenal. So, guys.
They're not involved in it. We're not worried about Arsenal.
Listen,
Nobody's
guys,
worried about Arsenal.
the points are so close, we never know what could happen, and we need to all
Newcastle's worried about Arsenal.
Listen, I hope you don't end up having to eat them words, you do not jinx us. As long as we get in the top 4, guys, that's all that matters.
Oh,
so,
that's funny.
Tomorrow's game, guys. Who wants to start? Stoney.
Well, first I'd like to apologise for my non-appearance on the last game. Yeah. So the good thing is this is an earlier show, so at least I'm awake, all right? So I'll get that out of the way, yeah.
I told you you're showing your age. I told you. 9:30 and he's gone. He's done.
Oh God, it's true. It's true. Felt so embarrassed.
Stoney by name, Stoney by nature. It's fine. We're not saying you ducked and you dived, Stoney. We're not saying that.
So yeah, we're going into this fixture against Leeds. Our last fixture in the league, what was that? 4-3. Yeah, we won 4-3. Leeds, they're not. This is not going to be a walkover. I definitely have to say that. So their last 3 matches, they beat City 2-1. Did they lose to Sheffield United?
No, they beat them 2-1.
They beat Sheffield United, and then the previous game to that was Fulham. Yeah, as well.
They beat them
2-1 again.
There you go. So I think it's the same thing as well. For us, it will be interesting to see whether Bamford actually features. Whether he's been able to recover from his slight knock. I know we'll get to what our lineups and our matchups will be later on, but this is not going to be an easy fixture at all. Got a lot of respect for Leeds, got a lot of respect for Bielsa as a manager and how he sets his team up. But look, I'm just looking for 3 points. I don't care how we get that win tomorrow. It's definitely a 3 points, and then we can start looking at the table, a little bit differently. 3 points, we get 3 goals. And then we're up and close to West Ham, close on points. I think they fight. So even if we win, you know what? We win, we get 5 goals, and then we draw in with West Ham. That's what I want.
Well, hopefully you're right. I mean, regarding the Man City game, that wasn't. I actually did think that Leeds would win and I think Pep thought the same. He was concentrating on the Champions League game during the week, and I think his team selection showed that.
But do you know what, Pato? What's interesting in you saying that? I think with Pep, I think sometimes it's quite hard to predict what squad he's going to line up in and what adjustments he's actually going to make to his actual setup as well, and how they're actually going to play. So yeah, 100% I agree with you about him probably having an eye on the Dortmund game in the middle of the week. But I think the way in which Leeds, probably similar to West Ham, were actually able to play with 10 men and still actually play quite effectively, I think that will probably give that little extra percentage for Leeds actually coming into this fixture against us. But I agree they were down to 10 men, but they really, really, really played well. So this is going to be a matchup. That's a team that's not going to be sitting back. They're going to play on the front foot, and they're actually going to come for us. So I think it's going to be a good game.
And Kev, King Cup.
Yeah. Apologies for popping out just now. My screen froze, so I had to pop back in. I did hear majority of what Stoney said. I definitely agree with what he says. My only sort of thing is the fact that Leeds, although they do play on the front foot a lot, and they play really well, some good flowing football, they are susceptible at the back. But they've got a goal difference of 0. So although they are scoring, they're also conceding. Going back to sort of their last sort of 5 games, they've lost against West Ham, they've drawn 0-0 against Chelsea, and obviously that those 2 wins against Fulham and Sheffield. 2-1, 2-1 sort of thing against a lower team in the division. Okay, we've all sort of struggled with teams like that down there from time to time. I just find Leeds can play a little bit hot and cold. Sometimes they're great, sometimes they're a bit trash. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good, open, free-flowing game. And I can see nothing but goals in this one. It's definitely not going to be a 0-0 or anything like that. It's definitely going to have a lot of goals in it, I think. May even sort of go back to that 4-3. That type of game. Leeds aren't sort of really playing for anything. We are. We need those 3 points. Leeds obviously can get away with losing, I guess, if you want to put it that way. So yeah, they will come for us, but that's going to leave them open. And probably play into our hands. I just hope that the front 3, whatever front 3 we play, are going to have the shooting boots on, because we need them to be firing.
100%.
Yeah, totally agree with you there, Cop Artist. As you said, I think Leeds will be chuffed just even staying up. They probably didn't even expect to stay up. Come on, when's last time?
They've done exceptionally well this season.
Yeah.
They're absolutely buzzing. So as you said, they haven't really got much to play for because they've already done it. Their job's done. Then they're safe and they're mid-table and they've done fantastic. So, I mean, okay, they're not going to just lie there and let us win. As you said, they'll give us a game, and I do think there'll be loads of goals. Totally agree. Hopefully we can get Article on to give us his version of events for tomorrow. Artie, tomorrow's game.
Sorry, I don't know what's going on there. Sorry, technology's messing me up.
Strange one today. Yeah.
Gremlins are about.
Yes.
I think it's going to be an exciting game. I think there's definitely going to be goals. And Liverpool do like teams who like to come at them and attack. Leaves us lots of spaces to attack at the back. We don't like playing against teams who sit back. And Leeds will definitely be coming out. So I'm quite happy with that, actually. I think that will suit us down to the ground. I believe we can get the 3 points. I believe the players are up for it now. They know this is what they got to play for. They've seen the results at the weekend. Not talking about Arsenal, but I think we'll definitely be up for it. I think we'll get the 3 points.
Yeah, let's hope we're all correct, guys. So we've got a few little comments and questions coming in already. So Reese Efford, hello and good evening and welcome. And we've also got Edward Brown. And he wants to see Jota and Salah to score tomorrow. And he wants to see Mbappe at Liverpool next season. I think we all agree with Edward Brown there.
Definitely, Edward. Definitely.
Ooh. I think we might need to start putting some of our coppers together to try and get Mbappe.
Well, I've got a coin jar.
Do a little whip around.
Kev's got loads. Yeah, Kev's got enough, he says.
Yeah, I've got a jar with all my coppers in, mate.
All right, that's all right.
Okay, so Timo Werner 789 hopes Martinelli signs for Chelsea.
But that's got nothing to do with Liverpool.
What's that got to do with Liverpool?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't understand.
Timo. Okay, so Reese is saying, how is everyone? Well, Reese,
Good. Thank you.
except for not being able to get our poor Howie on the show because of the technical difficulties, I'm fine. How about you guys?
Yeah, all good. All good.
All good, all good.
All good in the hood. So we've got Mark Pickering. Good evening, Mark. And 2-0 win, Liverpool win. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. And I think, guys, we've got Howard trying to get in. Let's see if we can get him in. Come on, Howard, please. Super Sunday. Come on in, Howard. And if Howard, hello, Mr. Howard Gayle, Liverpool legend, can you hear us? Howard?
Yeah, I think he's frozen.
Again. Seems
Howard
strange, isn't it?
in Liverpool, our ex-Liverpool player, who's also played for, was it 8 clubs you played for, Howie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fulham, Newcastle, Birmingham, Sunderland,
Blackburn.
Stoke, Blackburn, Halifax.
Yeah. Stoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, please. Let's get this
Come
feed
on,
going.
Howard. Got questions for you, please.
But you know,
I'll
as you're
wind it
right,
up.
it's been a strange one because Artie, you had some teething problems on your end today as
Yes.
well. And your
Yeah.
connection's usually solid.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on today.
How about you, Kev?
Them bloody Manx.
I've had no problem at all, apart from my frozen screen.
The bloody Manx, mate. That's about it.
Oh, please.
So Reece Efford saying 3-1 to Liverpool tomorrow. I'm predicting. Reece, I hope you're right.
We take it all day long. 3-1.
We will. We certainly will. Edward Brown wants to see Jota. Yes, I think you did mention that. Reece, I want Valverde for a replacement if Genie leaves.
Is that Valverde for Real Madrid? That person's talk about.
I would have thought so. Yeah, it's the only Valverde I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's gonna be good. Thank you very much, Reece. Reece, for that comment. I'm sure that will be a feature on one of our upcoming shows about possible signings that we'd like to see for our wonderful club at some stage. I know I've got one. I won't discuss it on today's show, but if it does come through, then yeah, I'm not going to say I'm going to do a forfeit or a bet because I always lose at stuff. But I've got someone that I'd love for us to sign it if Gigi does move on. Bearing in mind, I do not wish Genie to go anywhere, but there's somebody I'd absolutely love for us to sign if he did actually move on. So, but we'll save that for another show.
Good idea.
Yeah, so
You're going to spill the beans off air.
Yes,
Yeah.
remind me afterwards. Remind me
Good man.
afterwards. All right.
Do you still believe you can get top 4 by Mad B? Thank you, Mad B, for your questions. I do, most certainly, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll go last on this one.
All right, I'll go next. Yeah, I thoroughly believe. I mean, we've got a pretty good run in, and I know it's all on paper, but this is all we've got to play for. So you know, I think the lads will give 110% every game. They'll be trying their socks off to try and get those 3 points every single game, and the majority of the teams above us or in that fight have to play each other. We've only got to play United, which we'll do anyway.
Yeah.
So I can heartily here we're going to get top 4, if not top 3.
Yeah. Howard, I think you can hear us because I heard a little bit of it repeating before. So maybe turn your telephone off, so then you don't get that echo, and we might be able to pick it up a bit better. And just go through, I think, your iPad. But please, we need you to be on our show. We can see you, we just can't hear you.
I think he's frozen.
I think he has frozen again. So, who else top 4, guys?
Artie, did you want to go next?
Yeah, definitely. No, definitely. I think we're going to get top 4. Like Kev said, that's all we got to play for right now. So we're going to go for it 110%. We're going to get top 4. And I think the fixtures, the way they're set up, is set for us to get the top 4. With them other teams above us, we just have to capitalize on our games.
Yeah.
And the rest of them will do the damage for that. They'll do the damage for us. We just need to make sure that we capitalize on our games, and we're in there.
Did you want to comment on that at all, Pato?
I said straight away, we're definitely going to be getting top 4, as everyone's just said, regarding all the teams and having to play each other. And as I said, with the teams at the weekend, it is squeaky bum time. Definitely squeaky bum time. It's all happening. As I stated, the last few games are the most trickiest, and the strongest will survive. Your tired legs, your injuries, your fatigue, your frustration. You know, so yeah, a lot to play for. I think we will.
And as you're right, I think at the moment, West Ham are their 4th, 32 games, 55 points. We are 6th with a game in hand on West Ham. When we beat Leeds, then we're basically on the same amount of points as West Ham. The only difference is that they may have a superior goal difference, and obviously
we do.
That's fine, no problem. So in between us and West Ham, we've got Chelsea, who's played the same amount of games as us. It's just that they're 2 points ahead of us as well. But you're right. You know, considering at some stage, other people were saying we were completely out of it. There's possibilities, and as our club, we actually never ever give up. So yeah, you know, that position for 4th is still there. I mean, I don't think anybody would have expected that result yesterday with Newcastle beating West Ham. So as much as we can't be reliant on other teams' results, we do what we have to do and do what we have to do in-house. But yeah, it's still possible. I still believe it's possible anyway.
And also with the other teams are still in cup, so that's extra games.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
Chelsea have got extra games, haven't they?
Yeah.
Chelsea got a horrendous run in games. They've got a lot of games to play.
That's true.
And in a short space of time as well.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Really believe, Matt B?
Yeah.
Of course we do.
We have to. You know, we are not a defeatist club. So,
right.
You know, we'll honestly, we can leave that to everybody else. That, you know, we are optimistic. And it's nothing being braggadocious or anything. We've shown through history that we are an optimistic club and we deliver. So yeah, we really do believe.
Okay, so we've got Edward Brown asking what is all of your score prediction for tomorrow. I know we normally leave this to the end, but I'm happy to go with it now if you just want to, guys. You want to give score predictions now? That's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Artie?
3-1.
3-1. Somebody
3-1
thinks
Liverpool.
Before.
It's going to be goals.
Cop artist?
I'm going for 2-0 with a penalty in the game. Ooh. So Salah's going to bang one in for me.
And Stoney?
I'm going for 4-2 Liverpool.
4-2 Liverpool.
Yeah, as he said, this fixture is going to be a game that we're going to relish. I think it's going to be a wonderful game even for the neutrals. We're going for it, guns blazing. You know, a Monday we do not play gun ho. Just to put that out there, Mr. Sir from the Manchester United thing, we do not play gun ho, but we're going out to score goals. I have confidence in how we defend as a team. However, I do believe we will be breached. So I do believe Leeds will score. So my prediction for tomorrow is 4-2 Liverpool.
I'm going to say 2-0.
2-0.
2-0. Yes, 2-0. Because as well as it isn't, there's a bit of a doubt of, is it Rafinha, is it?
Rafinha, yeah.
And Rodrigo.
And also Bamford as well. They're still not too sure about Bamford.
Yeah.
Yes. And as we've said, I think they're happy with where they're sitting in the table. So yeah, can't really see them conceding. So Can't see us in season. So yeah, that's my prediction for tomorrow. And we have Matt B. Howard on dial up.
Maybe. Don't know. You don't know.
You can call him Mr. B if you want, Matt B. Sorry, Matt B, not Mr. B. So we've got Matt B and Mr. B. Sorry, so we got Ed B. Yeah. Ed B, I want to see Van Dijk to be the next captain.
Maybe you mean captain, maybe possibly. Well, Van Dijk is the captain. He's a captain of the Netherlands, so that's fine. There's a lot of respect for Van Dijk currently at Liverpool, but we currently have an exceptional captain as well in Henderson. So Van Dijk also is a captain, so that's fine.
So we've got Reece Efford, maybe a Frankie de Jong.
Young can stay at Barcelona. We don't need to be looking to get anybody like Frankie. Barcelona can have him.
Yeah,
that's fine. We've got far superior players currently at our club, and I'm confident that if we are going to be purchasing any players in the future, I believe in our owners, I believe in our manager and our coaching staff. So this is just my personal opinion. Reece, thank you for saying maybe Frankie de Jong. I don't want him coming anywhere near Liverpool at the moment. Sorry. It's just my belief.
How about you two?
He's a good player.
Yeah, nah.
How about you guys?
He can stay where he is. I'm with Tony on this.
Yeah, definitely. He can stay there.
Yeah, Reece, I think the guys have answered. Mark Pickering, good evening, Mark. What do you think Liverpool break away for the Super League? Good question. Well, guys,
That's very good. And that's also with FIFA's statement also saying, are they saying clubs or is it players that we will be banned from featuring in the World Cup? They said it's players. I think FIFA have basically made a statement to say that it's either players or clubs that choose to agree to take place and play in the Super League, then they will be banned from playing in the World Cup. So it must be players then. So I'm sure, look, this is something that's going to be new in terms of a breakaway league. Well, I'm sure there's going to be lots of lawyers out there. There's going to be a lot of owners coming together, and we'll just see where this will actually take us. But what do I think about them breaking away in the Super League? We are a superior club. And if there is a league out there where all of the high level clubs are playing in, then Liverpool should be part of that. But we'll see where it takes us, because, this is something not necessarily in terms of the name, the Super League, but breakaway clubs have been spoken out for the last 15, 20 years and nothing is actually materialized. So we'll just see.
Okay.
For me, I think it's a bad idea. And for many reasons, there's talk of, there's going to be no, if they break away in the league, there's going to be no domestic clubs. There's no, it's just going to be a league. There's going to be no Champions League for those clubs, which is, one of the things that, being in the Premier League, teams are fighting to get into the Champions League. So it's a massive thing for them. You got to think about the fans. At the moment, being in the league we are in, fans can go to away. Obviously, barring the pandemic, fans can go to away games and afford to go away to away games. What are they supposed to do? Going to Spain and Italy, and they're not going to be able to afford to do that. So you're going to have a minimal support over in these away games. This, to me, just once again, as per usual, smacks of money. Yeah, that's it. And 100%. For a long time, and this is one thing that really annoys me massively, this game is going down the money route and has done for many years, and it's getting out of hand. And it's time somebody put their foot down and said, enough's enough, because in a minute, you're going to end up with smaller leagues because teams are going to fold. You're going to end up with elite teams at the top. There's going to be no money dripping down to these smaller clubs. You're going to have no support for these smaller clubs. And do we really want that in our football system? I certainly don't. I think it's wrong.
Agreed. Artie?
What can I say, Kev? Man, he just wrapped it up. And it's real. What he said there is exactly real. It's exactly my thoughts as well. Financial implications for them smaller clubs is going to be drastic.
Yeah.
And who wants to see that, man? Seriously, that's some of the beauty of it is the big club, little club rivalries and that the matches that they have, and watching teams get beat by them kind of teams. Not for me. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, that was a really good point. What you've got some brilliant points that you made there, Cop Artist. And I was just going to add on to the situation, what's happened in this last 12 months with the pandemic and how it has affected leagues. There's some clubs that have nearly folded or still may fold because we're not out the woods yet. Now, I'd have thought this would have been a wake-up call about this Super League. An example of showing you how it wouldn't work. Because basically through this pandemic, it's the strongest clubs that'll survive and the richest. And it's the ones that aren't so rich that'll, have to go. Who's bought Wrexham? Was it Ryan Reynolds, actors?
Yeah, the 2-on-2.
Superstars having to come over and bail out little clubs. Superstars from America coming to be, So, as you said, how'd you go abroad for an away game? It's okay to do the Champions League, and sometimes people can't even afford that because, as you know, look how much the hotels and the flights go up. A £30 flight to Madrid suddenly costs £900 because the way Liverpool are playing football is in front of that ticket. So, no, I don't want a Super League at all. But that's what the Prem. We've already gone from the First Division, which I was quite happy with, to the Prem, or basically was it Sky?
Yeah.
Where that comes from? Who've made their money off us? They've made enough money off us. Still continue to make it. So what are we going to do? Another one? Let's make another one, and let's make these businessmen more rich.
It's just greed at the end of the day. That's what it will happen.
What about grassroots football? Let's not forget that and where it all starts. Yep. So now I'm not for it at all. But absolutely brilliant. Mark Pickering with that question. It really got us all beefed up about it, didn't it? So we've got Reese again. Now I reckon Trent for future captain.
Anything's possible. Trent has age on his side. He's still a very young man. He's got age on his side. So anything's possible.
And Reese again, speaking about Rafinha, I want him at Liverpool. Isn't he? He's on
is that Leeds? Is that Leeds Rafinha that the young man? That the person.
Yeah, I think we are looking at him, aren't we?
There has been rumours. Many rumours that going around at the moment about specific players potentially coming to the club. Rafinha is one that's been spoken about. Suarez is one that's been spoken about coming back. Obviously, we've had the Coutinho saga again coming up. But I've spoken to Reese on many occasions over the last few days, and he did mention about Rafinha. I didn't know anything at the time that we were looking at Rafinha, but again, it's just all these rumours. We're always linked to every player that is shining for every team. Neto from Wolves, those types of players. They're young players. They're doing well in their clubs. So we're going to be linked to them. Obviously, I personally think Klopp's has always had an idea of players that he wants. So they can go out with all the rumours that they want in the media. A lot of it's done in house. So until we get a definite, interview by Klopp or a definite statement from the club of who we're buying or who we've bought or whatever, then I just take everything with a pinch of salt.
Do you think, guys, he meant this PSG one instead was the same as Edward Brown? Edward Brown saying he wants to see Rafinha to come to us from PSG. What's your thoughts?
Unfortunately, my knowledge is extremely limited on the Rafinha for PSG. So unfortunately, I would not be able to comment on that.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on him myself. Only thing I know about PSG that I want from PSG is Mbappe. That's all I'm interested in, mate. If it doesn't say Mbappe on the tin, send it back. Keep the returns label.
Rafinha, I'm just having a quick look now on my computer. Rafinha is 28 years old, midfielder.
Okay.
He's played 19 games this season, hasn't scored any at all.
Is this PSG?
Is it
PSG? Yeah, the PSG.
Okay.
He's a left-footed midfielder.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a great scoring record as a midfielder, and I think that's one of the things we're missing is an attacking midfielder that can actually put the ball in the back of the net, like Gerrard.
Yeah.
I think we're desperately missing one of those players, and certainly looking at Rafinha's stats, he ain't the sort of player we need.
That would be interesting. That's a good question, as he said from Edward, bringing that in as well. I think, as he said, I have absolutely no knowledge on this player. I'm not even going to attempt to say that I know anything because I don't. But I think the question mark will probably be the age, if they're around 28 as well. I wonder if, I reckon in the next season, that Klopp will slowly start rebuilding our squad. And I wonder if he'll be looking to rebuild it with a player that's probably around 28. But as he said, I know nothing about the player, unfortunately, from PSG. It's just the age may well be a factor.
Yeah, I totally agree. Well, guys, it's 31 minutes into the show, so we've done our predictions. Shall we do our teams?
Yep.
Our crucial teams for tomorrow's game. Did you know Klopp watches us and he gets our tips?
He doesn't watch me, Pato, because I always get it wrong.
Well, you did listen to me, didn't you, last week?
Listen, what I will definitely have to say is, as much as I did fall asleep in a Leeds game, Kev, you just did the top one there. Definitely, you guys called it on Milner, down to a T. You guys did that down to perfection. So yeah, 100% to you guys on that one. I didn't see that coming at all, but Milner featured against Real Madrid. So yeah, that was a really good little spot on that one.
Yeah. Okay, so I will start, guys, with my Leeds team. So I'm going for, in goal, Meslier.
Yep.
And I'm going to go for the 4-1-4-1. Okay?
Right.
So then it's Ayling, Llorente, Koch, and Alioski.
Yeah.
And then Phillips is the one just sitting in front of them. And then Rafinha, because I do think he could play. I think he will. I think he will play. So I'm going to put him there. I am going to say Rafinha, Dallas, Roberts, and Harrison. And then up on his own, Bamford, because there's nothing wrong with him. Again, it's a smoke screen. Nothing wrong with him. He's in the pub now. He's in the beer garden. In Ramsay Park.
Oh, that's perfect.
So that's my team, guys, for Leeds. I'll even go and give you me Liverpool team, 4-4-3. No Milner this week, guys. No Milner. He's tired. He's having a barbecue. He's in a barbecue as we speak. So Alisson in goal. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Kabak, Phillips and Robbo. And then I'm going for Thiago, Fabinho and Gini Wijnaldum. And then up front, the front three is Salah, Firmino and Mane. Again, I've not named Jota. He'll come on as sub. And over to Artie.
Okay. Yeah, my Leeds team's pretty much the same because Cooper's on a 3-match ban. So it's either Pascal. So that's the only option I might change at centre half.
Okay.
And yeah, I'd have the same Clavan sitting just in front. Roberts, Dallas, Rafinha, and Bamford up top.
Mm-hmm.
And as for the Liverpool team, same back five as usual: Alisson, Trent, Kabak, Phillips, and Robbo. Thiago, Fab, Gini, And I'm up front. I'm going to go with Salah, Bobby, and Jota.
Okay. Carpasses.
I'm pretty much the same as Artie with the Leeds team. They could make the odd change here and there, but it pretty much picks itself with the players that they've got. They've got some players that they can bring on, as subs, some sort of handy players, some quick players. But there isn't going to be much change to what we expect, and pretty much with the Liverpool team, to be quite honest with you, the back four basically is going to pick itself. That's not going to change. Obviously, the changes we get is the odd one in between midfield and the front three. I personally, I'm going with Milner in midfield.
Okay.
The reason for that is he only played 60 odd minutes against Real Madrid. Was it 60 odd minutes he played for Real Madrid? Got
about that, yeah.
Yes.
So he's going to be a little bit fresher than maybe Genie. So I'm going to go for the midfielders, Fabinho, Genie, and I know I'm going to probably get this wrong, Genie and Milner, just to make sure, because they play on Leeds play on the front foot, make sure that we shore up that midfield, just to combat that. And up front, I'm still going to go with Salah. I'm going to go with Mane, and I'm going to go with Jota, and I think he'll bench Bobby. That's my team.
Okay. Oh, where's Arsie go?
Hopefully back.
Okay, Stoney.
My team, both teams for Leeds and Liverpool, doesn't change much from what you've mentioned as well, Pato. I think the only area that will be in, I believe also Rafinha will play. I think that's a smoke screen. Yeah. So normal goalie, Messilia, Alioski, Koch, Llorente, Ayling, back four plus the goalie. Phillips playing as the holding midfielder, Dallas, Roberts, Harrison, Rafinha, and up front Bamford. And if Bamford doesn't play, then Marino will play. Marino will play up front. So I can't see there being much change from Leeds. And Liverpool team, I think it kind of picks itself for me. Alisson, Kabak, Phillips, Roberts, Trent, Fabinho. I think it's going to be Thiago and Genie in the middle of the park, Mane, Salah, and Firmino. So I don't think from either side, I don't think there's going to be any surprises at all. I think what will be interesting, though, it will be interesting, even though they won't be part of the starting lineup. Leeds under 23s have just won their league, haven't they? So it's going to be interesting to see whether Bielsa puts any of those players as a recognition for how well they've played this season, to see whether they're on a bench or how they actually come on. So even if Bamford doesn't play and Mourinho is not selected, it'll be interesting to see whether any of the under 23 squad is actually part of their bench. So I think that will be the only little sprinkling, but not too many surprises. In an ideal world, I'd like to see Ox get some gameplay. I don't think that's going to happen, but I personally would like to see Ox get some gameplay tomorrow. So that would be a plus point for me. Apart from the win, that would be a plus point for Ox to get some gameplay tomorrow.
Well, mentioning Ox brings us straight to the next question, which is Edward Brown. And he's saying, I don't want to see Chamberlain leave this season or next, only because I rate him a lot. What's your thoughts, guys? Well, Stoney's just said he wants to see him playing tomorrow.
I didn't even see that comment there. Okay.
How about you two?
Well, I mean, what is Ox? Ox is 27, right? So I kind of put Ox in the same position like Naby Keita. For various reasons, they haven't managed to have as much game time as they would have liked to, whether it's to do with, injury. I think it's probably more to do with injuries. Hopefully, they both remain for us for next season, and we have an opportunity to see the best Naby Keita, and we have an opportunity to see the best Ox. More so with Ox as well, because he can play in various positions. So I would like to see both of them have another season, because I do believe that they're clearly part of the building project as well. And yeah, injury prevailing. Hopefully, you see them having a good season next year. But I don't want them to go anywhere. Not yet.
Okay. How about you, Tim? Do you want to see Chamberlain?
Where do you see Ox's best position, though?
It's the strange thing with Ox. I don't think he has a best position. And with Ox, right? So if we're just looking at the current formation that we play the 9 out of 10 times we play the 4-3-3, yeah? So I think with Ox, he can play in any of the number 8s. So whether it's Fabinho Holding as the number 6, he can play with the left side of the 3 or the right side of the 3. I also see he can play the left side of the forward or the right side of the forward, because he has actually played there in a couple games for us, and he's actually been quite effective, I think. So I think with Ox, he's got an opportunity to play in any of those 4 positions, and if we were to play the 4-2-3-1, then he can still play in any of those 3 positions behind the forward. That's just my thoughts anyway. That's why, for me, I would still like for him to remain there and see how he features next season.
Yeah, I would love him to stay, but is it worth that trouble of having someone that's always injured, and then you can't use them? You're only getting like 5 or 10 games out of them. It's not worth it. And also saying that, for me, people are judged harshly because they come on 20 minutes, then they don't feature again for another 3-4 games, then they come on again for 40 minutes. You never get a chance to build up.
True.
Sometimes you run of games to start, and then you start showing form. How are you supposed to just 20 minutes and I'm just supposed to come on and show form? It's hard. Yeah. It's very hard.
I agree.
You start judging, then he's injured again, then he's out.
Yeah. I think it's either that, or it may be something where our owners and Klopp takes the whip out, and then they move on, because I mean, I'm talking about in football terms, right? Not in real life terms, not in my terms anyway, but in football terms, okay? We can probably still get 20 plus. If Ox was to move on, I believe we can still get 20 plus million pounds for him. All right. So as you were saying, if it was something where for various reasons, injuries prevented him from playing, or whether it's tactical or whatever, if we were to move him on, we can still get 20 plus. That will, as I said, I still put him in the same position as Naby Keita. If we find that these particular midfielders aren't performing, do we do a Chelsea and then loan them out for a few seasons to make sure that their value still retains and we move them on? Because if we think of it, we've still got. Is it Grudich that's still out? Look how long we've had him in.
Yeah,
look how long he's been at our club. Yeah, and he's been out on loan. 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 And I think that his value is probably appreciated. Yet we're still keeping him, but we're not playing him. So maybe that may be the same situation that ends up happening to Naby Keita as well. As you said, it's going to be really, really, really interesting to see how those players play, to see how they feature. But yeah, with Ox as an individual, just revert back to the question. I like for him to be given one more season, and if for various reasons he's not able to have the impact that we would like to be, then we sell him. We get good revenue in terms of football terms, 20 mil, which is a good amount of money. Even 20 million pounds for a team that comes up from the Championship. Now, I'm not saying Ox is that level, but I'm saying even a Championship team is in a position to pay 20 million pounds for a player. So Ox would still be able to get into a team for 20 mil. I mean, West Ham, he can get into West Ham for 20 mil. I know they got Jesse Lingard and he's playing breathtaking for a moment. So we'll still make money from it. And bearing in mind, I think we've shown as a club, any of our players that we've sold over the last few years, we've been able to get good value from. So that's one thing I do believe in. Yeah.
Okay, so Reese, thanks for all the questions that we've had tonight. I also have just had a message from Howard. He's sent in his apologies. He is watching us, so thanks for continuing to watch. It's just a shame that he wasn't able to come on because he's got a really diverse background, Howard, and he does a lot for charity, and I would like to still talk to him about that, and also him declining his MBE.
Yeah.
Yes. So there's a lot to be spoken to
about. Yeah.
on the show. I think I can suggest Howard, because you're in Liverpool and we can go to each other's houses at the moment anyway. And I get regularly tested because I work for the NHS. So welcome to come to my studio, Howard, and we can do it here.
I've got so much questions to ask him as well. So yeah, that would be excellent.
On another game, like I said, if it's early, because I mean Newcastle, that's an early kickoff, isn't it? There's a nice early kickoff, so maybe if we want to get something sorted for then, so we could, because we've got to get you on the show, Howard. There's too much you need to tell us. So definitely get you on the show. Definitely get you on the show. So Reese Efford, higher game. My team for tomorrow is Alison Phillips, Kabak, Trent, Robbo, Milner. Is this the guy who is this who you know, Kev?
Yeah.
So I think Reese is going to be coming on. Isn't he going to be a new host with us?
Yeah, I'll drag him on at some point.
Yeah. So he's saying Milner, Thiago, Wijnaldum, Salah, Firmino, Jota, Mane needs a drop in his opinion. Yes, Reese, thank you. Yeah. Milner though. Mark Pickering, for me, Jota must start over Bobby. Oh. Well, I think some of you picked Jota, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
You've picked Jota.
Yeah.
Yes, that's two.
I picked him over Mane.
So you picked him over Mane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he plays well from that side anyway. So I've always sort of said, this season, with the sort of the issues that's going on in the club and what was the way that I've seen Mane play this season, which quite honestly has been dire on various levels. Are we potentially, and I know this is, a subject that maybe we not want to talk about, or talk about at a different stage. Are we potentially looking at one of the front three being sold? Possibly to invest in a big player, as such, like an Mbappe, possibly. But for me, Mane's just underperforming in every area. So yeah, I would rather see Jota there at the moment because Jota's playing better.
There's talk of there was rumours about Mane going and to finance the sale for Dembele from Barcelona.
From Dembele.
Yeah.
I mean, you see, that won't be quite indifferent. I mean, that won't be very indifferent as well, RT, because similar with Dembele, he was bought for a very, very, very high fee for Barcelona.
That's right. Yeah.
And similarly with him, he's had a lot of injuries. So even if it was something where Liverpool were in a position to actually purchase Dembele, we would probably then be in the same situation, mentioning just the two players you mentioned before, in Keita and Ox, in terms of players that for various reasons have had a series of injuries. I think where we have been fortunate at the moment is Salah, Mane and Bobby. Their bodies are built with such amazing conditioning that they very rarely miss games. So that will be interesting if something we were purchased with Dembele. But yeah, he's a player that has a history of a lot of injuries, and I don't think whatever we're paying for Dembele, that's 50+ mil. As I said, in football terms, that's not much, but it's still a lot of money. So yeah.
Don't you think it's time that our clubs stopped buying injury prone players? I mean,
100%.
We bought Naby Keita.
Yeah.
He's got a history of injuries. We bought Oxlade-Chamberlain in. He had a history of injuries. We bought Lallana. He had an injury, a list of injuries as long as your arm. We're looking at Konate. He's got some injury problems.
Yeah.
And we can't sustain buying players that are prone to injury and only getting a third of a season out of them at best.
Yeah, I
and
agree.
then, like Archie said, coming on for like 20 minutes, one game, and then not seeing them for 3 or 4 games, because not only do we not get the best out of them, they then have to try and build back up not only game time but fitness to get into getting some game time. And if you push them too far too quickly, which I know sort of Klopp generally doesn't try to do, then the injuries then are just going to continue.
Yeah.
So I think it's time that when they look at transfers and who we're getting in, I think it's time we go, look, yes, they look at their medical history. They do that now anyway. And if that's the case, why are they still buying injury prone players?
Yeah, that was true. I agree. I definitely agree.
We've got a message here of Kind Mentors, which is actually Howard Gayle, because as you know, he is a mentor. Hi, Howard, can you hear us? Are you here?
You see his image.
You see his image.
Yes.
It's
Okay.
frozen again.
It's frozen again.
Yeah.
He's moving in between.
As we can see on his message, he is apologising. He's saying, really sorry that I can't join, Sharon. And I'm listening to you, but I can't access the chat.
Well, I've only got one thing to say to Howard for that.
Yeah.
Pay your bloody internet bill, pal.
Oh my God.
He's siphoning off the labour.
Oh, dearie me. Yeah. Hopefully we can get the legend on in one of our future shows as well.
Definitely.
Yeah. Howard, switch to BT. That Virgin's no good.
Hey, I've got Virgin. I don't have a problem.
Okay, we've got Edward Brown. Who is the best young player we have just now? He's saying it's Phillips.
So are we? Is that? That's a good question as well.
Yeah.
Edward, are we talking about young players in terms of in our current first team squad? This is me being picky, all right? It's only because I want you to comment and stay on the show. Are you talking about in our first team squad? Are you asking us to comment about our under 23s? Are you asking us to comment about our under 18s? Because at the moment in our under 18s, we got James Balagzi, who's actually come back. He's one of our attacking midfielders. He scored a nice little hat trick against Leicester in the FA Cup. So he's quite tidy as well. He's been out for a little while with an injury. Or are you talking about any of our players that are currently out on loan? Because, I keep speaking about Harvey Elliott. So, he played nice homage as well. And he's actually been playing good this season. So we've got a lot of good young players.
Yeah, I'd have to go with Harvey Elliott myself.
Yeah,
guy's got some talent. We saw that when he first started playing. And he's done so well at Blackburn this season. And respect to him for the under t-shirt. Definitely.
Thank you. Yeah.
I know he's only been at the club a little while, but he must know sort of what's gone on in the past. Even obviously he wasn't born. But yeah, definitely total respect to him for doing that. But I'm looking forward to Harvey Elliott. Breaking into the team, even at a sub level, and coming on being an impact player, because he will be an impact player at the start. And he's definitely got some skills on him.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd say Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones is probably one I've been keeping my eye on and have been impressed with how he's performed, and especially him coming up as well and playing for the first team. So really, I'd say mine's Curtis Jones, even Reece Williams as well.
Yeah. Because you're right. Even that step up from the under 18s to the under 23s, even just training with the first team, that's a very big transition as well. And I think sometimes we can probably underestimate that. We think, okay, because you've broken in the first team, that you're solid in it. Even the training's completely different. So you're right. It's credit to them as well.
Yes. What about you, Oscar?
Definitely. Harvey Elliott fan, man. Massive Harvey Elliott fan. I can't wait for him to come back to the club. I so want him to get an opportunity. And it's things that frighten me is like having players like Mane that are ahead of you. is going to stifle you because obviously they're going to be first choice. But then when you hear about them looking to buy replacements for them guys and other big name players spending big money on them, what does that say for the youngster? It's another thing.
Well, going back to that question, I'll have to skip through a few others, but I've just seen it pop up. He said the first team. His answer's the first team.
Okay, all right,
Not
fine.
Player. So
Curtis Jones, then. It's got to be Curtis Jones.
Yes. Yeah.
So we may have success with Mr. Gale's feed settling. I can see movement, Pato.
Hello, Howard.
He's frozen on my screen.
You see it? I think he has. Okay, what do you think? So, Edward Brown. Hi, Edward. And what do you think if Adrian, he should go to Championship team or go on loan?
He'll be gone this season. He'll be gone this season. They'll get rid of him this season.
You think?
Yeah, they've got Kellerman Kelleher in as a reserve. I think they've got another. Haven't they just got another young goalkeeper from somewhere?
We got two.
Yeah,
we had two because in one of our previous games as well, we actually had two of our young goalkeepers actually on our squads bench. So I thoroughly agree with you about that as well.
Yeah, I'm quite excited to see Kelleher again because I actually like that guy. I think he's calm under pressure. I've seen him, calm under pressure in the games he's played for us. He's a good shot stopper. He does command his box pretty well. And for a young player like that, I think he'd be a better backup goalie than Adrian. And I'm not. That's no disrespect to Adrian. He's helped us win some stuff. He's played some great games, but he's also had some howlers as well. And we need stability in the goal, and we need to have a trusted goalie as a backup as well. And I think Kelleher fits the bill.
Yeah, I do agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we've lost Howard again, so we can get him back in. Hello, Howard.
Come on, please.
Can you hear us?
He's got his headphones on.
You got your headphones on, looking very official there, Howard. So Reece is saying he'll come on anytime.
Yeah, because he never gets out of his bloody bedroom, Reece. That's why.
He doesn't have to. He can do it in his bedroom.
I know. That's what I'm saying. He can come on anytime because he's always in his bedroom. I'm going to speak to his father. I'll tell you. I'm going to speak to his father.
Okay,
that don't sound right. That don't sound right.
Oh boy!
You don't want Dembele to injury prone. His legs are red sticks. Yeah. Howard, are you there? Howard, I've just heard your voice. Hello. Definitely getting some sort of delay.
Yeah, massive delay. But he's smiling anyway.
You look happy anyway, Howard. I think you can.
I'll leave you to it. I'll just listen in.
Okay, but no, just chip in when you can then, because we are picking it up. We just heard you then, crystal clear. I think there's just some sort of delay, Howard. But anyway, Harvey Elliott is a Liverpool fan. I think even when he was young. Yeah, that's correct, Reece. That's correct. And Howard Brown, I think if we get Eddie Nekatai from Arsenal, I think he will be a great young player for us. Ooh.
Arsenal would not be selling Nketiah to us for love nor money. Stupid. Yeah, they rate Nketiah and Martinelli extremely, extremely highly. And just to extend on that, I think if we were looking at the thought of buying a young up-and-coming player, then we should possibly have kept Ryan Brewster. That is just my opinion on that one, all right? So I can't see that Nketiah coming through.
But down to rivals anyway.
Yeah. But Arsenal rate Nketiah very highly.
Artie?
Arsenal are our rivals. What's wrong with you lot?
No, I just meant they are a rival to like the top six, aren't they? At the end of the day,
Newcastle and West Brom.
Yeah.
They would never let him go to us.
Yeah, never.
They sent him to Newcastle so he can gain some experience and game time before he comes back to them.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay, Howard, can you hear us and can you add to anything? If there's anything you can hear, do you want to add? Just throw it in. No?
Still a
No.
delay.
Okay, so no. So we've got Edward again. I agree. I say Brewster would have been a great young player, but we didn't really give him much of a chance. He didn't get much of a chance either in Sheffield United either, is he? I don't think he's going to be staying there either.
Probably not, no.
Yeah.
But we do we not have a buyback clause, 3-year buyback clause on
Yes,
Brewster?
that's true. Yeah. That is true. So we could come back because we had his dad on, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay, so Reese is saying, I'll come on next podcast if you want. Just need someone to tell me how I set it up. How old, Reese?
About 4.
Oh dear. Oh dear me.
Seriously, how old is he?
I'll sort him out. To be quite honest with you, I'm not really sure how old he is. I think he's probably about 14.
I thought they were experts.
No. He knows his stuff. Don't get me wrong. He does. He's a big supporter of Liverpool. His father's a big supporter, and he's very astute with some of the things he comes out with. But I'll sort him out.
12. He's 12.
So he's 12. All right. Still fairly close.
When are you 13, Reese? Are you allowed to be on here?
He's going to say tomorrow.
He won't bloody reach 13.
He's going to say tomorrow.
Be past his bedtime.
How have you got school tomorrow? Have you done your own work? You had your Sunday bath?
Yeah, get on with it.
Reese, you're welcome to come on anytime, honey. Anytime. We'll get your Uncle Kev, your Uncle Cop Artist is going to sort it out for you with your mic and your little camera, and we'll get you all up.
Yeah, I'll sort him out, don't worry.
We are. May the 9th.
May the 9th.
Right, don't worry, we'll get you on. Right, guys, so we've come up to the hour mark. We've gone over our hour. Unfortunately, it was a shame with Howard. He was sitting. As you could see, he wanted to come on. He did want to come on. He's got things that he wants to talk about also, the work, what he's doing. I said he's doing charity work over in Africa. He's doing, he always has done charity work. That's why he's a mentor. He's a lovely man. We'll definitely get him on this season. Definitely. Hopefully for next Saturday, because I think it's timing, isn't it? We can't do it too late. So, like I said, he's welcome. We can come here and we can just share the screen. Plenty of room, not a problem. So definitely we'll be getting them on. So guys, for tomorrow's game, we must win. I'm not too sure if we're going to be doing the after show tomorrow. We'll sort that out. If it's not tomorrow, it'll be on Tuesday. But come on, Liverpool, let's get to this top 4, maybe 3. We get to 3rd position, but we have to win every game. Leeds are not just going to lie down and let us. We need to be strong, confident, and play our hearts out. We'll get a win. Well, I've enjoyed tonight's show. Hope you are all having a lovely evening. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Around, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. The bell's there at the side. Press that and then you'll get notifications. Don't forget to share us on social media. Don't forget, if you want to come in and join us, if you want to come on to the show like Reese is when he's 13. He's saying that he's done all that. And he's saying, bye, guys. Have a good night. Bye, Reese.
See you later, Reese.
Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. And Mark Pickering, you'll never walk alone. Come on, you Reds. And he's right. We will never walk alone, guys. Thoughts for tomorrow on the game? and say no goodbyes.
Yeah, I'm buggering off and having my roast chicken. So have a good evening, everybody, and let's go for that win.
Definitely.
That's right.
Definitely.
I'm going to have mine. My roast chicken, my rice and peas. 3-1.
I got roasty potatoes, man.
Sending that vibe over here. So on that note, over and out from Queen Passo. It's been a pleasure as always. Thank you, King Stoney. Thank you, King Pop Artist. Over and out. And always remember, you'll never walk alone.